I know who you are. I'm great. How are you? Good, good. I think a lot of it stems from my family. Just the resilience. It stems from, just every single day, no matter what my parents did. My dad was a plumber growing up. My mom was thank you, Jeff. My mom was a PE teacher. And, no matter what kind of days they had, it was always just, they were always in the best mood for me and my sister growing up. And, no matter what happened at work, my dad was always out there playing catch with me after work. So, I feel like I just naturally kind of learned to be resilient and take it one day at a time from them. Hey, how are you?
Well, good. You?
Good.
What enabled you to believe in yourself when so many others did not?
I feel like there's a theme, kind of themes probably coming up here, but just my family. I would say my family was a huge part in just my ability to get over things, and the resilience that I've had, and I've always had a tight knit, close group of friends that have kind of when things are going well, they keep me grounded, and when things aren't going well, they lift me up, and I think it's important to have those people in your life.
Takeaway for younger fans, perhaps, in the resiliency you've shown. I mean, nobody sets out to be a case study in resilience and comebacks, but you've done that. What do you hope young fans take from your ability to bounce back and reinvent?
Yeah, I think the only thing that matters is, if you believe in yourself, that's really it. I always believed in myself. I knew that I could do this at a high level, and that was really it. That's what kept me going, and I knew at some point an opportunity would arise. But even if it didn't, I knew that I did everything that I could to become a better player year in and year out. And yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Listen, I want to tell you something. Everybody say gay for me, but not me. I say Sam for Sam. So I'll make you something for you. Here, catch it.
I'll catch it. Thank you.
Ham for Sam. And also
Thank you so much.
I make you a hot.
Look at that. Wow. Yeah. Here.
Catch it.
This is great. No, I'll wear it later. I'll wear it later.
Just put it for 1 second. I made it for you.
Okay. Oh, you made it just for me. You did not make this.
Yeah, I swear. I'm a ham for Sam.
How about that? That's perfect. There you go.
And also I'll make you a portrait. It's a portrait. Look.
That's great.
Look.
I love that. That's great. Thank you so much.
Can you show it to us, Sam? Please. Oh my God, right here. Thank you, ham for Sam, everybody. Ham for Sam. Come on.
No, you guys are good. You really don't have to do that. That's really nice. Thank you. You don't have to do that. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks.
In your wildest dreams, could you have envisioned being here 60 minutes from the Lombardi Trophy?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up dreaming of this moment. So, I grew up watching, a ton of great football players and a ton of great football teams get to this moment and make great plays. And I feel like, whenever that happened after a Super Bowl, I was always, emulating that in my backyard, my front yard with my friends. So, yeah, I always dreamed of moments like this.
On what the past few years have been, and then especially now that you're in the Super Bowl, what are those thoughts, given that you were with Minnesota, you were with us at the 49ers, now you're here going to the Super Bowl. What are those thoughts been like for you?
Yeah, it's I take every experience as its own. No matter what happens, I was really blessed to be able to get drafted to the Jets. Obviously, things didn't work out the way that I wanted to there, and then I went to the Carolina Panthers, where I made a lot of great friends. I learned some really good football as well, just part of my journey, and then went to San Francisco. Was able to be a backup there and for a great player in Brock Purdy. Learn under a great coach in Kyle Shanahan, Brian Griese, the Kubiaks, obviously. And then I went to Minnesota, and again I was with some really great coaches, some really great players as well. I think everything I do, I just take it one day at a time, and I think that's kind of the mantra for myself and what I've been able to do, I guess, over the last couple of years. Say that one more time, sir.
What do you feel like you're still learning from your game at your age?
Oh, I'm always learning. I'm always learning things about myself. How we can get better, and yeah, I feel like there's always room to get better. I can always be better taking care of the football. I can always be better in, if a team beats us in a protection, trying to pick it up, or maybe even throwing hot. So there's a lot of things I can always get better at.
As a world-renowned birder, can you give us your best bird impression of your favorite bird?
I do love that bird app. I'll sit in my backyard a little bit, especially if in the off season when I don't have anything going on, and just because I'm curious. But I will not do a bird impression for you. I'm so sorry. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to create that viral clip for you. But maybe another time. Maybe another time.
What do you prefer, Dick's Hamburgers or In-N-Out?
How do you quiet that noise, and what's the lesson that you give to your team members?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's just it. It's leaning on my teammates. Obviously because this, it can feel big. It's a big game. Obviously, the Super Bowl is something that you dream of as a kid, like I talked about previously. But I think you lean on your teammates, you lean on your coaches, and like I mentioned, I lean on my friends and my family a lot. So, but these guys in this locker room, these guys that I go and practice with every single day, like they're the ones that keep you grounded, in what we do.
Former teammates that have said they're really happy for you in this moment. You've been through a lot of ups and downs in your journey. They all seem to have had your back. What do you do that allows you to resonate with the guys in the locker room the way you do?
Yeah, I think it's just being true to who I am. I think, just being honest about who I am as a person, and not trying to be anything other than that. I'm never one to be too much of a rah-rah guy, but if, something needs to be said and something needs to be said in front of a group, I'm not afraid to do that. So I think it's just understanding who I am as a person. And I feel like over the past, 8 seasons, as a quarterback in this league, I've had done a better job of continuing to learn myself that way.
Talk about ghosts ever bother you?
One more time. Oh,
Talk about
no.
did it bother you?
No, it doesn't. I mean, it's something that happened in the past, and, it is what it is. And, yeah, we'll leave it at that.
What does your off-field routine look like that helps you on the field?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is, first of all, understanding what we're doing, drawing up the plays, making sure that I know full well exactly what our plan is and what we're attacking, and then obviously watching a ton of tape, understanding the defense that we're going against. So I could go through the full week for you, but that might take me a little while. But
Outside of football, like, is there like hobbies or things just to kind of like take your mind off the game maybe a little bit, just to kind of
yeah,
a little bit?
yeah, I love golf. I love playing golf. I love watching golf on YouTube. That's one thing. And then when we get an opportunity, me and my fiance to go out and have some good food. I love I'm a little bit of a foodie, just like in trying all these different spots in Seattle. So, but those are the main 2 things I would say: food and golf. Favorite course. I was able to play Cyprus a couple years ago, and that was pretty special.
Have you really been considered a bust at one point in their career and then led a team and won a Super Bowl? How have you gotten to this spot?
Yeah, I think it's just being true to myself, and again, like relying on my teammates, like not understanding that I don't have to do everything by myself, like not forcing plays first and second down, checking the ball down, doing everything that I can to just go through my reads and go through my process, and taking care of the football, I think, is a huge thing.
What makes this team different?
Yeah, I think it's leaning on my teammates. I really think it is, and I learned that about myself is leaning on my teammates and leaning on the close people that I have in my life. And for me personally, I don't think it's anything more than just doing my job every single day. I don't think about anything else. I just, think I have a job to do, and I have a job to do every single day. And if I can lock in on that, I won't have time to think about any other, BS, I guess, that I might be able to think about. No, I always feel like I was always very level-headed. Even when things weren't going well early in my career, I always felt like I was level-headed, and I was able to do everything that I needed to do to just do my job on a day-to-day basis. Yeah, I think you know, I think a big part of that is the journey, right? Like I wouldn't have predicted, I would have loved to get drafted to New York and have that be my home for 20 years. But it just didn't work out that way. And, same thing in Carolina. And then, in San Francisco, that was a great place for me to learn. And in Minnesota, I feel like I had a great opportunity with really good players and really good coaches to show not people, but show myself what I could do out on a football field. And I think people saw that. And again, like Seattle, just from the get, right when I got here, it felt like home, and it feels like home. And I'm just so thankful for John and Mike believing in me, and all the players in that locker room for believing in me, and for me to just be able to go out there and do nothing more than my job on every single play. And I think that's a very, very secure feeling as a quarterback.
Jackson has been instant since really the first week of the season or even the preseason. Where does that come from, and what makes him special?
Yeah, I think he's a special player. I think just all the hard work that we've put in since OTAs and training camp, just the way that he's, our dialogue that we've shared together. He's a special player with special talent, and we've spent a lot of time together. And I think that time is paying off, and it's continuing to pay off, and it's continuing to pay dividends, throughout our season and this postseason.
You said you watched games before. What do you remember from 2015, the last Super Bowl between Seahawks and Patriots?
2015 was Patriots Seahawks. I remember it being a really good game. Obviously, the last play was a crazy play. It was a great read by the corner. But I just remember it being a great game and coming down to that last play.
With USC, you haven't played at Levi Stadium for a championship since 2017. What is going through your mind for that moment?
Yeah, I didn't even put that together until just now, so I appreciate that. No, it's special. This is a special place to play football. We played here a few weeks ago. Obviously, played here in 2017 as well for a Pac-12 championship. So it's a great place to play. It's a great environment. Great field, great weather as well. So we're just really excited to be here. What's that?
Would you like to compete in the LA 28 Football Olympics?
If I ever get the opportunity to do that and it doesn't conflict with anything in my schedule, I would love to compete in the Olympics. I think that's always a dream to be able to do that.
Sam, are you planning you and your team to win this Sunday? This is Lucana from Alianza News, local news in San Jose. Welcome to San Jose.
Thank you so much. We're going to do everything we can to go out there and play a good football game, execute the way that we know how to execute. I love it. I love it here. I was here for a year. With the Niners, and I love it over here. It's a great question. I would say there's a lot of great golf around here, a lot of great food. Yeah. Yeah, obviously that's it's a tough deal. You always hate to see a player get injured like that. With that other, the thing going on over there, I don't know too much about that, so I'm not going to comment on it.
Quarterback in the 2018 class that's made the Super Bowl, between Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, they've had football cards sell for over six figures. Do you think if you win a Super Bowl, you'll see one of your cards sell for maybe $1 million?
I don't know. We'll see. I don't. I think my dad might, but I don't think he tells me. But no, I think it's always a cool thing. I remember collecting trading cards when I was a kid, and that was always special for me.
Yeah, what's the energy like in the locker room for you guys, even with the obvious dislocations, or are you treating it like any other game? Are you taking it that route?
Oh, for sure. Obviously, it's a little bit different staying in a hotel for a whole week, so the process changes a little bit that way for us. But yeah, we're preparing exactly the same way as we would for a normal game, and to be in a hotel with your boys for a whole week is also pretty cool. So we're enjoying the moment and preparing exactly the way we would for a regular game.
What do you think about the NFL potentially?
Do you have any words of encouragement or disencouragement for him?
No, No disencouragement. No, Drake's a great guy. I was able to spend a little bit of time with him at the Pro Bowl last year, and he's a great guy. And Michael, his wife, is awesome as well. So yeah, they just got a great family over there going right now, and Drake's a great dude. Like I said, was able to hang out with him for a little bit. So he's a great guy, obviously a great football player, and it seems like he's a great leader as well for his team. So can't say enough good things about Drake.
Having Super Bowl week as a backup and everything you soaked up and the lessons you learned that you're able to bring into this week.
Yeah, I think the rhythm and the timing of everything can be a little tricky when you're dealing with the media and everything that comes with the Super Bowl. So we're taking it day by day. We're sticking to our process like I just mentioned, and we're doing everything that we can to keep it very similar. Obviously, understanding the distractions that happen throughout the week, but again, like I said, like that's fun as well. Like this whole the media and getting to stay in a hotel for a week with the boys and having fun that way. Like that's such an important part of this whole process, and we're really enjoying that process as well. Yeah, I mean, we got a special team. We got a special group. We got really good scheme on both sides of the ball. Our special teams has been playing amazing throughout the entire season. So we've just been playing good football, and we're going to continue to try to strive to do that throughout this week and during practice and during the game. Yeah, I think what you just said is perfect. Like embracing it. I think you have to embrace failure, and you have to learn from your mistakes. And I think learning from my mistakes early in my career, I feel like has gotten me to this point. So I look at every time you fail, or you might lose a game, or you might not do exactly what you want to do on every single play. Like you learn from that, and I think as long as you learn from it, you can always look ahead to better things and not making the same mistake twice.
And what do you think are going to be the keys to win the game on next Sunday?
Yeah, I think one of the earliest memories I have of the Super Bowl, I was with my Pop Warner team, and we were celebrating a really good season, and at my friend's house, and we were watching Peyton Manning and the Colts go against Rex Grossman and the Chicago Bears. I think that was the one Devin Hester took back the opening kickoff to. So I think that might be a real reason why I remember it so vividly. There might be another one that, if you mention it, I might remember a little snippet, but that was like the full game that I remember. And I think for us, like, we just got to stick with our process, and we got to do what we do. And I feel like the guys, every single guy in that locker room, in our locker room, is keen to doing their job on every single play and executing at a high level. But again, like, we got to have a really good week of practice. We understand how good this Patriots team is on defense, offense, and special teams. So we just got to lock into the plan and execute at a high level.
You know that you have the best team in the playoffs. You have a lot of options on the targets, and also the defense is the number one. How is the feeling to approach the Super Bowl in the best shape ever?
Yeah, I think, having a really good defense helps a lot. It makes those decisions, on tough downs when you're third and longer, or, third and medium, and you're kind of in the red zone, maybe on the fringe, and you got a big third down, and, I might scramble out. It makes making those decisions a lot easier. Like, I never feel like I have to force the football ever, and I feel like that's such a great feeling as a quarterback. There's a lot of security there as a quarterback to be able to play with a great defense and great special teams the way that we have all year.
You know this, but a lot of New York Jets fans are still rooting for your success still to this day. What did you learn from that experience, getting drafted to a big market like New York, of course going to Carolina, the rest of the journey, but what did you learn in particular with the New York Jets that made you the quarterback you are today?
I learned a ton. I learned a ton from my time there. Had spent time with a lot of great people there, a lot of great people in that organization, a lot of great, players that I was able to play with, still that I talk to this day. So I had a lot of great times there. Obviously learned from a lot of experiences in New York. but just the relationships that I built with people there, I'll never forget. That's a great question. Besides myself, no, I'm just kidding. Shoot, I don't know. I think Gray's Abel. We might have to see him out there in a swimsuit. So, no, I'm not gonna choose myself. I feel like, that would be a little cocky, a little arrogant. So I won't do that. But Gray's Abel, maybe some other big fellas as well. Get them out there. They would just be in swim trunks, right? Or are you thinking like, okay, just swim trunks? Yeah, no, they'd be great. It'd be awesome. Oh my gosh.
I saw the app and we need some context behind it.
It's just an app that I came across randomly, and I love it. It's awesome when when we have some birds that chirp in our backyard, and I'm kind of curious, like, oh, what is that? So it's nice to have an app that tells me exactly what it is. That's all it is. I'm not like every single day going outside and checking the bird app, but it is fun, if a bird makes a noise, to be able to just pull out my phone and figure out what it is.
What sound does a Seahawk make?
I'm not going to do it. I know exactly what sound it makes, and I'm not even going to do it.
Sam, Dave Manley Knockout Radio. Are you an MMA fan?
I like watching the UFC, yes.
Who are some of your favorite fighters?
Oh, man. There's a lot of great fighters out there. I think it's tough not to say Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor's a great fighter. I just remember in college getting together and watching his fights, with all my buddies. So he's always a fun entertainer as well when he gets that mic.
I have the pictures to prove it.
Oh, yeah.
And I even have a Seahawks picture, too, in your jersey.
Let's go.
After 16 years of suffering as a Jets fan, I decided to make the switch. As someone like yourself who you've had success switching teams, do I have your blessing?
You can be a fan of mine, and you can be a fan of the Seahawks, of course. Of course you can.
This is Philly Swag from 97.3 ESPN Radio.
No, go ahead.
This is a gift from Mexico. Can I throw you?
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. And this is a thing that's called sarape. It's for you.
Thank you so much.
I don't know if you noticed that it's you.
I noticed, yeah. Gracias.
Can you send a message to the Mexican fans? Can you send a message for the Mexican fans?
Of course. Thank you guys so much for your support, for watching this great game that we play, and we appreciate you guys. Go Hawks.
With you and the USC quarterbacks, I mean, obviously there's been a lot of great USC quarterbacks over the years. Do you guys keep in touch, or anyway, is there something that connects you guys together?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I think there's the fraternity that is USC in general, but the quarterbacks, I've gotten to know quite a few of them, and all great guys, great leaders, great people to be around.
A lot of great ones, but you'll be the first one.
Yeah, there's been a lot of great quarterbacks, but yeah, it's just it's a great opportunity to be able to play in this game, and I'm not taking it for granted one day.
After the game against the Niners in the playoffs, you and Brock kind of shared a moment. Did he offer you any words of encouragement? Just what has his relationship meant to you on your journey?
Yeah, Brock's been amazing. I can't speak highly enough of him. Just what he taught me, even without even really saying much to me. I learned so much from him, just his study habits and what he did on the field. So, Brock's been great. He's been great to learn from over that past year when I was with him in San Francisco.
Mr. Samuel Darnold.
What's up, boys?
Friend of the show, Bustin' with the Boys.
Correct.
There's obviously a lot of media that's taken place during this week. Do you wish you may have taken out a little bit of media so you could have done Bustin' with the Boys this week? And are you planning to go on Bustin' with the Boys this offseason?
Definitely planning on it, fellas. All right, and I do apologize. All right, for not going on, but plate was a little full this week, and yeah. Well, it's great. Maybe if we could have cut it down, maybe to like a 5-minute deal. I know the podcast gets a little lengthy, a little 20-minute interview, but I know. But this off season definitely, and it'd be great. It'd be great. Thank you guys.
You played with many wide receiver talents.
Say that one more time.
All right, so you played with many wide receiver talents. How do you compare Justin Jefferson with JSN? And how do you feel like
Yeah, absolutely. I've been lucky enough to play with a ton of great quarterbacks or receivers. I'm sorry, and Justin, of course, being one of them. He's so talented, and just I feel like he taught me a lot about sometimes it's about players, not plays. Sometimes you just got to get that guy the ball. So, I was always looking for him if I ever needed him on a big third down or in the red zone, and feeling pretty similar to JSN as well. He's a great player who can just find the void in any defense.
Do you have any pre-game traditions or superstitions?
No real superstitions. I think just sticking with the routine is the biggest thing. I will say putting the left cleat on before I put my right on. I don't know why, but that's been kind of a thing for me for my entire life. But I would say that's really the only thing.
Cooper told me about the phone case.
Yeah, Coop, he tends to tell people a lot of things about me, and I'm gonna save what I got to say about Coop because I'm a good friend. But no, I've kept the same phone case, and it is broken. It is a broken phone case, and sometimes it comes off. But that's okay. And, we're here, and, I'll put the new phone case on after this game.
From 97.3. I've been sent over here to ask you a question. I play fantasy football. I went over 13. Do you have any advice for me?
Any advice for you? Just keep doing your thing, man. Never give up. Always ask the football questions.
How about putting you on my team?
Putting you on what team?
Fantasy team.
Oh, yeah, it'd be great. Yeah.
What mindset and support system helped you stay confident, and how did you not let that doubt tear you down?
Yeah, I think first of all, it's believing in myself. I think it's always about believing in yourself to have confidence. But that does come from having a great family and a great support system back home with my friends that I grew up in high school and college, and even these guys in this locker room now. Just the way that they believe in me, the coaches believe in me. I can feel that, and it's real, and that definitely helps build my confidence. One more time.
What's your message to Minnesota fans that are supporting you in this Super Bowl?
Oh, it means the world. Any support means the world. No matter who they are or where they come from. It's always when people are pulling for you and they're in your corner. It always means a lot.
How do you personally stay calm and focused for the big game this week?
Yeah, I think it's just about keeping everything as the same as possible as you would throughout a normal week. Obviously, that's not all the way possible. Just doing media and doing everything that we need to do this week, just our obligations. But it's keeping the routine the same, watching the same amount of film, and studying the playbook. Leading up to the game as much as I can.
What's happened with the organization the last?
How much does it help to have this week off, this kind of break between the last week?
Yeah, obviously any rest with any injury or when you're hurt a little bit, it obviously helps to rest. And so I think, just resting and using that time wisely and getting all the treatment that I need to has helped. Feels great. I think, I think, I could kind of feel it in training camp, to be honest. Just the way that our team gelled, how tough it was to go against our defense every single day. I could tell that we had a chance to be a good team. But again, just the level-headedness of all the guys in that locker room and our coaching staff has helped us get to this point. Whether we lost a game or whether we won a game, it didn't matter. Everyone was coming in and doing their job every single day after that, and I feel like that's kind of propelled us to this point.
Potential 18-game regular season schedule in the NFL.
What do I think about it? I'm not going to comment on that. I think, those people that are making those decisions are making those decisions for a reason, and it is what it is.
You're on the women's U.S. national flag football team, and I was wondering if you had to choose one female athlete to throw you a touchdown pass, who would it be?
Oh, man. I would have to say Carrie Walsh. I think that would be a great one. I grew up watching her and Misty May Trainer, so play some beach volleyball. So that would be either her or Misty May Trainer.
Love Misty May.
Yeah.
Obviously, you just checked off the box of making it to the Super Bowl and, having that bucket list. Is another bucket list item potentially playing for the flag football team in the LA 2028 Olympics?
Potentially. We'll see. Yeah. Thanks.
There are a lot of young going to the Hall of Fame.
What's that?
Drew Brees on the verge of going to the Hall of Fame. What did you respect about him as a quarterback?
Oh man, Drew Brees was an incredible quarterback. I was able to meet him briefly, after a preseason game that we played against them, and he's just watching his tape and the way that he, attacked the game as a whole I have so much respect for him. I got to know Luke Kuechly a little bit when I was in Carolina, and Luke always talked about Drew being the toughest quarterback he ever played against, because of just how much he felt like Drew was in control and he knew exactly what they were doing as a defense. And, there's so much respect I have for Drew Brees, just the way that, he's been able to, continue to mold his game and throughout the years. It's been amazing to see what he's been able to do.
I got Malcolm from Special Olympics here. He's got a question.
Okay.
What's up, Sam? I would love to ask you. You have been underestimated. What advice do you have for those that have been underestimated? What would you say to that?
Yeah, I think if you're never underestimating yourself, though. I think that would be the biggest key. Is like people can underestimate you all you want, but as long as you believe in yourself, that you can do it, that's all that matters.
Thank you, Sam. Good luck on Sunday.
Of course, thank you.
Along the same lines of flag football, who would you say or pick as the first NFL player for Team USA to compete outside of yourself?
Say that one more time, the last part.
Who would you say would be the first NFL player that you would come to mind for Team USA and competing for flag football?
Ooh, I think Jackson Smith and Jigba has got to be up there. He can do it all. You can throw reverses. He can throw the football. And he can obviously, I feel like he'd be able to play defense. And obviously he can go down the field and catch the ball. Favorite Olympian? Favorite Olympian, I mean, it's tough not to pick Michael Phelps. But I also got to stick with basketball and Kobe Bryant. Just growing up a Lakers fan and watching those USA basketball teams compete in the Olympics was pretty special.
So when you look back on your childhood, what is the first memory that comes in your mind when you think about football in your childhood, playing football in your childhood?
Yeah, I think one of the first memories that comes to mind is playing in, those mud games when we were getting ready for Thanksgiving. We would play in those turkey bowls, and that was always so special. As a kid, you're not even, I don't know if there were any rules really. It was just like, we're going to throw it to this guy and tackle him. And I think that was the best part about, it was just going out there and playing. And, you got to remind yourself sometimes of that, throughout a long season as well, like the reason why we play this game and how much joy it brings us. So I appreciate you asking that question because, it allowed me just now to kind of think about my childhood and playing this game and how much it means to me.
A couple of years back, in a backup role to Brock Purdy, you were in this same setting where you guys fell short. I know you said you don't really think about the being underestimated or the outside noise, but was there ever a moment in the midst or the aftermath of that period of time where you said, I'm going to make it back here, I'm going to play in this game again as a starter, and I'm going to finish the job?
No, to be honest, I always dreamt about it as a kid to play in this game. But, when you're in it and you're, for me, I was a backup in San Francisco, right? And then now I'm looking to go be the quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings. And it was like every single day I just worked on doing my job the best that I could. And how can I get better for that next day? And I just, we always talk about it as a team, but I just stacked days. And that's what I did, and now we're here. It's like you look up and you're playing for the Super Bowl, but again, like it's just the next game, and so that's kind of how I think about it. I never had this plan of getting back to this game or anything like that, but it really is awesome to be able to be here. But with these guys, with this locker room, it makes it even that much more special. Yeah, they're the best. Hey, Coach. It's awesome, man, just to think about, like I just mentioned, just talking about how great it was playing this game when I was a kid, and just thinking back to all the days that I went, before I went to San Clemente High School, but I watched all those kids that came out of San Clemente High School and watched them play football and dreamed about playing Friday Night Lights. And when I got there, it didn't disappoint. It was such a special experience. But I think the reason why it was so special is because of the process that it took to get to those Friday Night Lights. The process of waking up, getting there at 6 a.m. for 6 a.m. workouts before class, like that's what you think about, when you're done playing high school. And I know a lot of my friends back home say the same thing.
Speaking of high school,
What's that?
Dunkin' or Starbucks?
Starbucks.
In-N-Out or Shake Shack?
In-N-Out.
Skiing or surfing?
Surfing.
Tupac or Biggie?
Tupac.
Seafood or Mexican?
Mexican.
Pizza or tacos?
Tacos.
East or West?
West.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Sam, there are a lot of young quarterbacks struggling right now in the NFL, and there's talk about a development issue. What would be your advice to them as a quarterback that had a tough situation in the first couple of years?
I think the biggest thing is just going back to work, figuring out how you can get better, and continuing to try to just get better. I don't know what else to say, but there's so many things that come along with being a good quarterback, but I think the biggest thing that you can control as a quarterback is just your mechanics, what you can do every single day to get better, and that's it. What's up, buddy?
Hey, Sam, this is Lewis.
What's up, Trent?
How you doing, man?
How are
This
ya?
is our Panini Super Bowl Kid reporter.
Okay.
I have a question for you. What is your all-time favorite quarterback, other than you?
Yeah, not myself. Gotcha. Trent Dilfer is up there. All-time favorite quarterback, I got to go Tom Brady. And it's funny, playing the Pats now. Yeah, no, he's I grew up a big Tom Brady fan, so that might help me actually with the Patriots fans that hate me right now. So no, it's just watching him, just the way that he went about his business. He was so locked into his job and what he had to do every single day, and I think that's what I appreciated about him. Great question, bud.
Super proud.
Yeah, thanks, Trent.
Drew Lock says that he would like to take snaps in the Super Bowl. Can you make that happen despite the fact that the guy can't even grow a decent muscle?
Oh, man, that's your opinion. I think his mustache looks great.
Well, he was complaining about that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it comes back to having a great fiance. She does a lot for me, and she keeps me calm. She reminds me of why I do what I do, why I go to work every single day. So even though it doesn't really feel like work, I love this game. I love my teammates, love my coaching staff. It doesn't always feel like work, but sometimes the season can get long, but she makes it all the worthwhile. Don't stress. It's all good no matter what.
Tell me the impact of Leslie Frazier on this team.
What's that?
You tell me the impact of Leslie Frazier on this team.
Yeah, Coach Frazier, he's unbelievable. Just what he's meant to this team is he means the world to us as players, and just the advice that I've gotten from him throughout the season. I know Coach Mike says the same thing about him. Like he's kind of one of those secret weapons, I guess, on our team that not a lot of people know about. But he does a lot for us, and he keeps us all very level-headed. And
4 years ago, the 40th anniversary of him beating the Patriots with the Bears.
yeah, maybe. I mean, that might be a better question for him, but yeah, I'm sure he's loving every second of this.
What was Clint meant to your career from 2023 and then this year?
Yeah, you said Clint? Yeah, he's unbelievable. Just the things that I learned when I was with Clint in 23, just schematically, and then getting to learn from him as a coach as well and as a person, just the grit. He wakes up at insane hours. He gets to the facility at 4:30 in the morning, and he's there later than anyone. he's a grinder. He loves football, and you know, he's very honest, and he's very forthcoming with his players, that I think, you know, a lot of myself and a lot of the guys really appreciate about him.
Let's talk about the importance of the NFL journey as a quarterback. Timing is everything. You're a first-round pick. What if you went to a team before or after? The amount of pressure it is to be that high pick versus when you're coming afterwards, you know, maybe before the Vikings or the Giants.
Yeah, I think, you know, everything happens for a reason, and I'm not going to get into hypotheticals, but yeah, I'm so thankful for my journey and my experiences that I've had in this league.
I know you something. So, what did you learn from your grandfather and those values? How are you going to apply them this weekend in Super Bowl?
Yeah, that's great. I love that picture. Yeah, this is great. It's awesome. Do you want it back, or do you want me to keep it? I can keep it. Yeah, thanks. Yeah. Yeah, so he passed away in 99. I was born in 97, so I didn't really get to spend a ton of time with him, or at least I don't remember a lot of the time that I spent with him, but just his legacy that got passed down, you know, I know what kind of guy that, you know, he was, and I just think he would be, you know, not only really proud of me, but, you know, really proud of our family and kind of what we've, you know, what my parents have done for us growing up, and also my cousins, you know, my uncle and aunt, you know, the way that they've been able to raise, you know, my cousins. You know, I think he'd just be really proud of our entire family.
Looking forward to this weekend.
Yeah, I think he'd say, let it rip. Go have fun. Bad Bunny. He's great. Look at that fit. I don't know if I could pull that off, but that looks great. Yeah, it's unbelievable. Just, you know, I love his music. So yeah, it's great to have him perform at the Super Bowl. And you know, I wish that I could see it, but I'm afraid I'll be getting ready for the second half at that moment. But yeah, I know a lot of people are excited about him performing. I have a song in mind, but I don't think I can pronounce the name of the song correctly, so I'm going to pass on that.
Great coaches, Sam, Kevin O'Connell, Shanahan. What skills do they share, either on the field, helping easier for you, or off the field?
Yeah, I think they're just they're great teachers. I think you know, that they're able to teach their offense at a really high level, and they're able to allow players to understand the why behind everything. And I think that's one of the, you know, not only a great coach, but a great teacher as well. They allow their whoever they're teaching, to their students or whoever they're teaching, to allow them to understand the why behind why we're doing what we do. And I think that's really important.
If you got to use the bathroom before second half, what do you do?
Before the second half? Yeah, sometimes, you know, you've seen the blue tent on the sideline, right? The blue tent? Yeah. Sometimes, you know, you just gotta go in there and do your business and get out of there and go play. Yeah. No. I thought you were talking about number one. Thanks, Marco.
Hey, Sam, do you still hate?
What's that?
Is it true that you have a bird listening app?
I do.
What bird would make the best alarm clock then?
A Seahawk. Come on now.
Bird besides a Seahawk?
Okay. I don't know. There's a lot of great ones out there. What's that?
Who's going to win Dancing with the Stars on the team?
On the team? I think Jaron Reed. Jaron Reed. Who said that? Gray said me? Yeah. Probably Gray, actually.
What do you think of those guys watching 2 a.m., 3 a.m. in the morning?
Yeah. No, it's amazing. The support that y'all show, especially that late, you know, being able to stay up for Seahawks games, like, that means the world to us. So thank you.
Sam, do you still hate Tesoro?
2 years ago, you were back up Brock Purdy, and I had a chance to talk to you. And one of the things that you said that you learned a lot from Shanahan was your ability to read defensive coverages. What have you learned from Mike McDonald that's got you ready for this Sunday?
Yeah, I think what Coach has been able to, you know, teach me about not only offense, but and what he's kind of looking for as a defensive coach, but about defensive scheme and what he's trying to scheme up, and what he's looking for in protections, and all those things. Like it's so valuable to be able to just to take his advice that way and to learn so much from Coach McDonald, especially in OTAs and training camp. I don't get as much time during the season to talk to him as much as I'd like to. But yeah, just to be able to learn from him during OTAs and training camp was huge for me this year.
30 seconds on the clock. You're on the 1 yard line. Are you gonna run or are you gonna throw a slant route?
Well, how many timeouts do we have? What's the situation? Do we have any timeouts? No timeouts? I know that's a sore subject for a lot of people, but we'll say pass. No timeouts. No timeouts. You don't want to get stuff. Maybe you run it and you get on the ball and throw it really quickly after that if you don't make it, but it's tough to get those big guys back up after being down there on the 1 yard line and getting back and on the line of scrimmage. So 30 seconds left on the 1 yard line. That's a great question. As a quarterback, I got to say pass though.
Seriously, Tesoro, do you hate him?
Of course I can. Mom, I love you. Thank you so much for everything that you did for our family. Growing up, putting food on the table, making sure that I had a meal every single night before I went to bed. Like those are things that I never took for granted. And just the way that you raised us and the example that you set, it was the driving force behind our family and everything that me and my sister accomplished. So thank you.
Mentally, how much?
With the article by with US Today and Justin Jefferson's statement, and the GM getting fired from Minnesota, does that give you any type of extra boost in your confidence for the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I didn't read the article, but okay, but no, I think for me it's about respecting this process and understanding what I need to do to put my best foot forward for this team. I'm so lucky to be a part of this organization and have a great locker room that believes in me. We all believe in each other, and I'm just very very proud to be a Seahawk, and I'm very happy that I'm here.
Mentally, how much of an advantage is it for you to know you can't get mono twice?
Yeah, that's a huge advantage. Yeah, that would suck. Yeah, that would absolutely suck to have that happen right now. Thank you.
It's easy for fans to analyze what happens post-snap, but could you walk through when you're walking up to the line of scrimmage on game day? What's going through your mind, and what are some of your keys pre-snap?
That's a great question. I think play clock's huge. Looking at the play clock right when I break the huddle, right before I break the huddle, and then understanding what the defense is doing, starting with the front, working my way back. So that's kind of my process in a short version.
While you were at USC, you played Arizona State twice. In both games, you were coming off a loss, and then you guys ended up winning every single regular season game left in that season. So what about playing the Sun Devils gave you so much confidence when you were training?
Yeah, I think Arizona State always, they were always a problem for us, just with the defense that they had, early on and even later in my career there, the last couple of years there, I felt like they always had a great team, but we had a great team as well at SC. And, we were just able to string together some good drives, and our defense played really well on some of those nights or days when we played Arizona State, so it just worked out to our favor.
Do you still hate Tesoro?
Yeah, I think, just it was a full team effort every single day. It's the way you get rolling as an offense is when the defense plays really well and they get a ton of stops in a row, because that allows their defense to be on the field a little bit longer than they want to, and they have to get on the field a little bit quicker as well, and they might be tired. So it goes hand in hand. So I think we had a really good team at SC, and we were really good at complementary football.
About Tesoro, though, do we still hate Tesoro?
Tesoro? I don't hate Tesoro. I don't hate,
like him.
Even though they beat us my senior year, I'm not going to say I hate them. But yeah, I wish we would have won that game if that's what you're asking.
Mission Viejo's one thing, but Tesoro, they're a little too precious, yeah?
No, they're fine. They're fine.
Jungle's got your back. Jim Rohn wanted me to tell you hello. Good
Thank
luck
you.
this week.
Thanks.
What do you do off the field to take care of your mental health?
Yeah, I think a big thing for mental health is making sure that I stay close to my friends and family. I think because in the job that we have, we don't have a ton of time, so I think just making those phone calls to friends and family is huge for me.
About many of us student bosses now about your story the last few years, but we've
you think about you grew up in California, went to college in California, in fact you're starting the Super Bowl in the same state.
Mhm.
In terms of meant to be a fate, how much have you thought about that, the fact that you're playing in the Super Bowl in the state you're from?
Yeah, it's incredible. Just means my family doesn't have to travel as far to watch me play. So it's great. It's great to be able to have them so close, to be able to watch me play, and it's going to be nice to play outside too. Great weather. I got nothing to complain about.
Many UK fans, Seahawks fans from the UK who are watching this game late in the early hours. What's the message to them who are watching the game on Sunday?
I appreciate you guys. Thank you for all your support. I know it's late when you guys watch our games, but we do appreciate you guys so much for the support and rooting us on. Yeah, I think being here in San Francisco helped me a ton that year. Just being around really good coaches, really good players. Being around Brock helped me a ton as well. So, it's all of the above helped me. I mean, it's I learned a ton when I was here, and I'm very thankful for my time here. For sure, yeah. Especially going in, I think we're in the home locker room. So that'll be kind of weird. But it's great, man, to be able to come back here and yeah, because that was a great time for me. Just to be able to be with that team and in the locker room that we had were great memories. What's that?
Now that you're a podium guy this time around,
Right.
What do you make of all this?
Yeah, I was somewhere over there, and I was standing, hoping people would talk to me. So now I'm here. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there we go. Fight on, baby. No, it's I mean, yeah, it's great. It's great to just to be playing in this game. Obviously it means a lot. Means a lot to the world, really. But it means a lot to us as players and coaches. Like we don't, we lean into that. I think a lot of times people want to kind of stray away from, we got to keep our process the same. It's just another game. Like, no, like this is the Super Bowl. Like, this is incredible that we're here. We're going to lean into that, have fun with each other, throughout the week, being in the hotel together. And I think the more you lean into it, the more fun you can have, and the more loose you can be throughout the week. Yeah. Yeah, I think just having fun with media and being able to have fun with your teammates in the hotel, because the last time we were in a hotel for a lengthy stay together was for training camp. And so to be able to be with the guys like that again, like in a hotel, is it's always fun.
What does it mean to be the first former USC quarterback to start in the Super Bowl? And have you heard from some of the other guys that came before you?
Yeah, I've heard from a couple of them, but it's so crazy just because I grew up idolizing a lot of those guys that went to SC, and I didn't realize that I was the first SC quarterback until I saw the news I think a week ago. But yeah, it's just an honor. It's an honor to be playing in this game, to be representing the university. One more time.
What was it like playing under Kyle Shanahan overall?
Yeah, it was great to play, Kyle's system, to have Kyle as a coach, to hear him talk about football during OTAs and training camp when we had a ton of time to talk to him as quarterbacks. I soaked all those moments in to just be able to learn as much as I could, just because I felt like he talked about football in a way that I had really never heard before, and so that was really special for me. Favorite Mexican dish? Oh, man. I know I keep it simple. I like tacos, street tacos specifically. I probably eat about 10 street tacos. Carne asada with cilantro, onion, a little bit of salsa, and got to have the guac on the side, chips and guac.
Pay extra for the guac.
If they want me to, that's not my decision, but I'm always getting guac. So if, I probably just, now every time I go to a Mexican restaurant, they're going to charge me extra for guac no matter what. So, but yeah, you got to have guac on the side. Favorite Bad Bunny song? I don't know. Someone just asked me that. I know the song and I can think of it, but I don't know if I'd be able to pronounce it correctly, so I'm not even going to try.
Going back to your high school senior year, you torched my old high school, Newport Harbor High School. Do you remember? Can you guess your stat line from that?
Can I guess my stat line? Oh man, probably not. I would have to say, I'm gonna guess I was 16 for 18, 250 yards and 3 touchdowns.
300 yards, 3 touchdowns. Burger, Dick's or In-N-Out?
In-N-Out.
Sam, during free agency, what did you choose the Seahawks, knowing they had a defensive mind coach?
Yeah, I think, looking at it, I understood what it was like to prepare for a defense like that. Going up against Coach McDonald in that defense the year before in Minnesota, I know how talented our defense was, and I understood how talented we were as an offense as well. And with Clint Kubiak being hired as the offensive coordinator, definitely leaned me in that direction as well, just because I spent so much time with him in 23. I understood the system and what it was going to be like, and I knew that it was a system that I really like. So all those factors, factoring into it for me, made it an easy decision. One more time.
You're going up against Christian Gonzalez in this Super Bowl. What is your impression of him as a player, and how do you plan on attacking?
Yeah, Christian's a great player. He pops off the tape for sure. Really, all of them do, but Christian, just with his length, and it's not often you see a cornerback that tall, out there, and he's such a great player, very quick, and does a really great job. Whether he's pressed up in man coverage or whether he's in zone coverage, he has a great ability to break on the football, and yeah, he's a really good player.
What would be your dream halftime performance? Dead or alive, who would be your favorite performance out there?
Bad Bunny, no doubt.
Workouts you and Coop organized, and all the receivers and the tight ends. We've heard lots of stories of them, the basketball games, playing in the pool. But what is your favorite memory of that, and why do you think that has helped you so much, that bonding period subsequent to today?
Yeah, I think being at Coop's house, being able to spend time with the guys, as a quarterback, I got to say on the field, being on the field with them and just getting to know everybody, getting to know their personalities a little bit. Like, that's such a great time to just be able to, because again, like, I've been on different teams. I've been on 5 different teams throughout my career. Like, you're always trying to earn people's trust. I think me and my buddy say that a lot. He's a guy that's been on different teams as well throughout his career, and I feel like every year you're just trying to earn people's trust every single off season and during the season. So just to see that these guys are so laid back and easygoing, like, that was great to be able to notice that right away with this group.
About your faith, can you explain how that plays a role in your leadership on the team?
In what?
How your faith plays a role of your leadership on the team?
Yeah, I think just understanding kind of where we all come from, right? I think, like, we all come from different backgrounds, but we're all brought together through this game, and I think that speaks volumes, to all of us as people, and we're just going to continue to get to know each other, and again, like I keep saying, but this week in the hotel is going to be really fun to just be able to hang out with the fellas a little bit and get to know one another even more.
Every more international. How would it be like to play in Brazil someday, man?
Oh, it'd be amazing. Yeah, I think anytime you get a chance to play football in front of, what's up, Bayless? You good, baby? Okay, we'll finish this one and then we'll get to you. Yeah, but it'd be amazing to play in Brazil, really anywhere internationally. I think that would be sweet to be able to play football.
What's your mind when you think about Brazil?
Great soccer, beautiful beaches, and coffee.
Would you bring to play there?
What's that?
Which teammate would you choose
To go to Brazil with me? Oh man, Bayless Jones. Was that a good answer? All right, what you got?
How great and wonderful was your time with Bayless Jones Jr. at the University of Southern California?
Oh man, I can't speak highly enough of Bayless. He was an incredible teammate, but even a better dancer. So yeah, I learned a lot. From Bayless. Yeah, I don't got the hips like Bayless, but he's an incredible person, great overall human being.
Sam, love you, Sam.
Yeah, thanks, man. Love you, bud. don't know. I mean, it's got to be my fiance, Katie. Just, you know, the last few years, I feel like we've kind of, you know, we did long distance. You know, there was some tough times with trying to figure out, you know, just a lot of things. So, you know, we've been through a lot together in the last few years, and I think I'll think of her. Yeah, I think it's important for, you know, for anyone to be able to, you know, share what you believe in and understand, you know, exactly who you are as a person, and just share that with the world.
People are always focused on your journey when they talk about you, but over the last 2 years, you've been one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Do you feel like your best football is finally matching how you've always seen yourself?
Yeah, I think, you know, I feel like as a player, I'm always trying to get better. Every single offseason, I feel like I'm trying to create a better version of myself. So, you know, however, you know, people want to paint me as a player or anything like that, like I'm just continuing to try to better myself as a player and not really worry about anything else. Go ahead.
Last 2 years, has there been a moment where, damn it, Scott, has there been like a moment last 2 years where you've come off the practice field or a game and you're just like, it clicked, like in that moment? Has there been like a moment where you just thought about like this is the time when I realized it clicked?
Yeah, I think, you know, I can't point to a moment specifically, but I think in training camp, I realized how good of a team we could have, just with how good our defense was playing, and how good we were as an offense. You know, obviously there's a ton that you can get better at throughout training camp, and we know all about the process and what that takes, but I feel like I could tell kind of right away what kind of team we had. Appreciate it, guys.